Okay, Stephanie. So this is kind of where we're at with Nova. She is kind of wound up at the moment a little bit, but she is better than she was initially. She was really wound up when I first got her and stuff. So I've done a few training sessions with her already, and this is before I've done any groundwork as far as like moving her feet, getting her using that thinking mindset. So I'm just kind of testing where she's at as far as reactability and where she's looking at me as far as that leadership. As you can see, kind of by her body language right now, she's got her focus on me and her attention on me there. So she's taking her leadership from me at the moment. So she's getting her bravery from me right now. You see her head snap down at the moment instead of way up high. So I had her tied up just over there initially while I got the camera all set up. And when I left her, she started to like paw and get really anxious and stuff. And now that I am back with her, you can tell that her anxiety level has significantly reduced. And she is now taking her comfort and security from me at the moment. So I was just going to test and see where her starting point was before we even got her moving her feet. So I wanted to do like the desensitizing with the stick and string and kind of see where she was here. And as you can see, she's not very bothered by it at all. And I'm going to even kind of like move a little bit too, more towards her butt a little bit. And because I want her to get used to this going even behind her and not moving as well. So as you see, she's moving and I don't want her to. So I found a oh no place. So I'm just going to sit here and continue this until she stops moving her feet. And see if she figures it out. Which she should hopefully eventually. But I'm going to keep up my rhythm and my momentum and everything the same. Okay, so now that she stopped moving her feet, I'm going to either wait 10 seconds until she stops, keep my momentum up, or I'm going to look for some sort of sign of relaxation. Okay, so that's about 10 seconds. And now I'm going to go ahead and reward her for that and just kind of flick the rope and stick over her here. And that's going to be her reward. So as you can see, starting off up closer, because most of the time when we do our desensitizing, we do it up here more, you see. So her getting the pressure a little bit further back and more behind her is not the norm for her there either. And you see here too how she's not really paying as much attention to me. Her ears are elsewhere and her mind's elsewhere. So that's just kind of telling me where she's at mentally at the moment. She's not fully engaged in the process where I'm at. So I'm just going over kind of what I'm doing here to gauge where she's at mentally at the moment, to see what I have to work on, the areas she needs work. You can tell that she's a little bit tense by the way her eyes are. You can't see her eyes at the moment, but her eyes are kind of big and her head's way up in the air and stuff. So I'm going to see if I can ask her to lower her head a little bit and get her to relax. Good girl. And so I don't think she's worried about the snapping or anything at all, but I just have to keep doing it as a desensitizing technique and just get her used to that energy and be able to handle any sort of energy she may come across here. So her head came up again. I'm just going to ask her to lower it because, like I said, they'll get that relaxation effect from the placement of their head. So if their head's way up, that's one sign that they feel kind of anxious as well. So if I lower their head and stuff, that can help them have that relaxation come into them there. Okay, good girl. All right, so now let's go with seeing where she's at moving her feet. So she usually has no problem moving her feet. She had the biggest problem with moving her forequarters before. Good girl. So as you can see here, there she did a really good job, and she, yielded her four-quarters perfectly. That's exactly what we wanted. Where the last time at our lesson and stuff, it's like she had no brain. She like completely lost everything she was taught previously. When I know she knows all this stuff. And you see, that was actually a very good yield right there. Very good. I couldn't really ask much better of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and reward that. We're going to go the opposite way here. And this is after she's been off for a couple days because I went to a horse show. So she has been off for a couple days. I haven't done anything then. So this is just, she had a few days of being worked consistently, and then she's off for a couple days, and then now I'm back working her. So this is after a little bit of a break. So just those couple days of consistency and what I was managed to accomplish in those few days and stuff is definitely seeming to stick and stuff there. Now, initially, the first couple lessons or the first couple sessions with her, she was very kind of, what do you call it? Anxious and stuff. Oh, you got eye goober, girl. Let me get it out. A big ol' eye goober. She was very anxious and stuff there. So they weren't the most pretty ones, but I got her legs moving. I did side passing, lots of side passing, moving four-quarters, hindquarters, and stuff like that, and got her using that thinking mindset, and that made a big difference. I then went to go ahead and tie her up, and she's not a fan of tying in the stall. So that is going to be something that we're going to practice on as well. That's probably partially with, a lot of that anxiety by herself, because she's kind of alone at that point, but we got to get her braver by herself and learn how to get that confidence and stuff by herself there. So we got to build that up, and just by exercising that thinking mindset is what's going to help her become more confident and stuff there. All right, you can have your eye goopers back, girly. It's got to feel better though. It always amazes me how they don't care when you open or you dig in their eyes and stuff. So they must kind of like it. It must feel a lot better after that. So we tested our four-quarter yields. Now I'm going to go to her hindquarter yields, which she's always been very good at that. And you can see those are very good there. Change sides. Good four-quarter yield. Test the hindquarters. Very nice. Okay, now let's bring her up to her circles here. So I'm going to have her kind of have her hindquarters out a little bit, and her four-quarters are going to step a little bit. So she's going to do part of like a four-quarter yield, and then a hindquarter, a little bit bigger hindquarter yield in the back. And I'm just going to have her continue walking forward. And then I can have her step out if I need to. Good girl. And this is going to just make sure that her hindquarter yield is working, and make sure that she's not running straight if you ever come into a position where she needs to stop. Which is why I'm going to always check and make sure before I get on her, I want her demeanor to be like what she's showing me right now. If her demeanor is not showing me what she's showing me now, I'm not going to get on her, and I'm going to work her until I get her mindset into a frame of mind where she's at the moment. Okay? Good girl. And she's always been a very responsive horse. That's kind of like her right brain in her. So she's been very responsive. She has no problem moving her feet. She has no problem doing any of that. It's just a matter of her getting her security from somewhere. Is, I think, the majority of kind of her issue is just having somebody that she can find that security from and get that sense of feeling with there. So there's something that is happening between you and her that she's not 100% getting that sense of comfort from, I guess you'd say. So I don't know exactly what it is 100% without kind of seeing these two work together and whatnot, to know for sure. But I can tell you that if you're having issues and stuff with her, that is going to be probably part of the issue there. So I like this. She's got like a nice trot and stuff. She still doesn't like to canter very much on the line. I tried to get her to do it the other day and she's just like, nope, we're not doing that. But I do like this. I can slow her down with just a little bit of a feel here. I like how her head's kind of nice and relaxed. And she's just kind of one of those horses that holds her head a little bit higher too. But I'm going to see if I can get her to bump it down just a little bit more and relax it. So I'm just going to bump her nose towards her butt, step her hindquarters out. Good. Good girl, nose. Keep going. And so if I get to a point where she's not really responding to the whole head down thing, I may stop her and remind her of the whole head lowering feel here. Good. And I'm going to do it kind of from the position that I would be lunging. So there she wants to back up, and I don't want her to. I want her to stay forward and where she's at without moving her feet. I just want her to lower her head. Good girl. Good girl. Reward that. Good girl. Very nice. Good. Very nice. Good girl. Okay, so that's just going to kind of reiterate what it means to kind of feel that downward pressure a little bit and see if we can get her to kind of lower her head to stretch downwards in this forward motion here. And we can start closer at a walk if we want, see what we can get here. A lot of times horses learn better at the trot though, so let me see how she does here at the trot. So she's doing very good with anytime I bump her nose, she's kind of stepping out. I don't know if you noticed that. There you go, good girl. And her head is up, but it's not like as high as she gets sometimes, you know, when she's like super anxious. This is kind of where she just naturally kind of holds her head a little bit, you know. I would like to see it down a little bit more, but I'm not like super worried about this as her headset, especially with just her conformation wise. This is just kind of where her natural headset kind of falls with the way her neck and stuff goes into her body here. Good girl. Very nice. Very nice. Good girl. All right, let's go the opposite way. All right, so with her having a couple days off, I am very happy with where she's at the moment. I definitely think that the consistent work and stuff that I did last week definitely helped her significantly, because I think even you would agree that she's not even the same horse here. I took her outside and stuff as well. You probably can't hear them, but there's a bunch of chickens and stuff making noise over there too. I know I'm in the indoor, but it's just really nice to be in the shade at the moment, and there's a big old nice cool breeze blowing through here, so it's most comfortable here. But definitely when I ride her and stuff, I'll take her outside more and get her used to that as well. And I did take her outside and work her in the outdoor arena a little bit that first day and stuff too. So I'm doing definitely trying to expose her to a bunch of different things as well. Good girl. Very nice. Good. Okay, so over here, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's actually a mirror on the wall. And so she can see herself in it. And you see her looking at it here. So I'm just going to send her by it and see what she does. Just so she gets used to it and not freaking out. Good girl. So there she's looking at it, but she's not super focused on it. And she's still kind of paying attention to me. So there she's kind of whinnying a little bit. I'm just going to keep asking her to go and do what she's doing. So right here, she's looking at it out of her eye, which is fine because she's not doing anything necessarily wrong. The only thing I'm noticing here is her body is tense at the moment here. That's what I'm noticing is all. So by keeping my changing directions back and forth here with her, I'm going to keep going here. So anytime I get there where she wants to slow down, I'm going to add some pressure. And right here, she's kind of pulling on me a little bit. So I'm making sure my hand stays anchored as well at my side. All right, good. So as you noticed here, I don't know how well you can see where you're at because you're quite a ways away, but here where I am, I increased my pressure with her, and her focus has significantly improved on me right now as well. So she's not nearly as focused on the reflection in the mirror or anything. So I'm doing lots of direction changes, which is forcing her feet to change direction. Good. And when I'm slapping her here with the rope and stuff, it's very light. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of two things. I'm giving a little bit of energy towards her to keep her moving, but I'm also kind of desensitizing her in the same manner as well, at the same time, because I'm very lightly tapping her. So I want to make sure that she's okay with energy touching her without excessive reaction, if that makes sense. Good. And then I can actually slowly make my way a little bit closer to this mirror and see if that makes any difference here. Good girl. Good girl. Very good. And if she would offer to me that she wants to walk through there, I would let her if she offers it. There, she's nice and soft at her trot. There. Oh, and there, if she wants to stop there, I'm completely fine with the stop. Right there. Good girl. Oh, and she's checking it out. So I'm definitely going to reward curiosity here. Let her check herself out in the mirror. Good girl. Very nice. Good girl. Good girl. All right. So I think this is going to be like a perfect place to stop right now with her. So good girl. All right. I'm going to reward that then. Call that good place to stop with her. I'm going to put her in the stall for a little bit, feed her her food, and let her think about it in there for a little bit. And while I work with one of the other horses and go from there.